In this video, I'll be showing you how I make this slide with a wooden platform from REBO. This particular package comes with a special adventure pack, which includes some rock climbing and also a steering wheel. Continue watching to find out how I make this. Whilst you watch me unbox all the items and components from the pack, I would like to just say to you that this video is sponsored by outdoortoys.co.uk in partnership with REBO. In order to complete this build, you're going to need a few items. So you need some clamps, glue, a square, a drill, measuring tape and a spanner. So let's begin by assembling some of the side components. So this is the side rail, which is pretty much going to hold the entire unit together. As you can see, I'm using a square to make sure all of the joints are perfectly square with one another so that nothing is out of place or doesn't become plumb in a sense. And you can see here I'm pre-drilling every single hole into the first timber so that it doesn't split the wood and doesn't cause any cracks in the future. Whilst I'm drilling this, I'd also like to mention that all the timber that's been provided here is all being treated and is at the correct moisture measurement in order to work with straight away. And this includes not just the surface edges but also the end grain of the timber, which is the most important bit where moisture can enter the wood. Take your time and take all the measurements to get all the pieces as accurate as the instructions. Off camera I did the second additional stand, as you can see in the back, and now I'm just using some squeeze clamps to hold some pieces together. My recommendation is to do this assembly with two people, just in case the pieces fall, but with these handy clamps everything is held in place and can continue with the work. And again, with every single screw I'm putting in, I'm pre-drilling every single hole in order to reduce the chances of the wood cracking or splitting as I drill the screws in. It's important to keep checking that your pieces are square so that we don't have any incorrect measurements or any pieces that are not in square with one another. Now that we have the main stand built, it's time to screw down the platform, which in this particular instance is some treated decking wood with some grooves to allow any non-slip movement so your children are safe when they're standing on the platform. And all I do is pre-drill all the holes and evenly space out the timbers and screw them down. Here we're now attaching the two side rails on either side, and again just pre-drilling into the timber and drilling straight into the sides. The reason we have these side bars in a sense is just so that we can avoid any dangerous jumping or your children falling over the edges. So again, safety is really important here. You want to follow the measurements from the instructions to give you the right distance in between the two timbers so that we have enough of a coverage on either side. And I repeat the same process for the opposite side. This particular timber is angled on one side across the entire width of the piece, and this is a joining piece which will actually be screwed onto the swing set, which REBO sell as well. And for my particular one, I'll be connecting this to the twin swing set I have in place in my garden. And the reason the piece is angled is because the swing is an A-frame and it fits perfectly right against it. When drilling this piece, you need to make sure that you're drilling it onto the right side by making sure that you have your slide on the correct side so that it can fit the swing on either your left side or the right side, depending on your preference. The next stage is to follow the instructions from the manual to give you the right spacing for each of the steps. And this is as easy as measuring, marking, and then pre-drilling and screwing down each of these steps. Here you can see I'm removing the side holding piece on the A-frame of my swing set, and this needs to be removed in order to get the platform right next to it. And now that I've put the actual platform right next to the swing set, I'm now drilling through the post into the platform. In order to fit the slide, I mark out where the holes are, pre-drill those holes, and I then bolt this down with the provided bolts and nuts in the pack, and it creates a very strong hold. The slide is designed in a way that is quite sturdy throughout, so there's no additional support pieces following down the slide, and it's a really strong build. In this next stage, you'll see me fitting the steering wheel, which comes as an additional adventure pack, which is great for kids, I believe, and they'll enjoy it really well. Again, it's as simple as screwing one hole and attaching it with the T-nut and bolt. Next, we fit the climbing rocks, again marking the two holes, pre-drilling, and again fitting with the T-nuts provided and the bolts. I did the same step for the entire rock climbing assembly, and it worked out really well. So this is the final build of the entire platform and slide. I really like it, my daughter loves it, and it's a great build. Again, all of the timbers are really strong. They're dried out to the right moisture level and also treated really well. So it's going to last a very long time. The build quality is really good and the instructions are very clear. I'd highly recommend this if you're looking for an additional garden toy for your kids. And REBO is a great brand, very good quality materials and components. And you can buy any of this stuff from outdoortoys.co.uk.